Hi. I was just a boy from a small town. I was scared to ask questions, and I was very hesitant to speak in front of people. A lot of my friends talked about ambitions. I never had any. I thought I wasn't smart enough. But today, I've trained over 70,000 people and helped to create 525 food outlets. And we have served 5 million cups of tea across India. And this story is not just about me. The story is about, even after multiple failures, you can bounce back again and again. And that's the power of resilience. As I told, I was an introvert, very average student. I was just going to school just for the sake of going. My mom kept saying, because she realized education can only change your identity. So they didn't cross 8th, 10th standard, but they wanted to give me quality education. So it struck me while I was in 12th and started taking studies seriously. From an average student, I got 95% in 12th standard. Like a lot of my friends, I also joined engineering. With one strong goal. Before I move out of this college, I need to take up a job. That was the only goal that I had. An introvert, was afraid to speak in front of people. I didn't have any criteria to get placed in a company. But I worked hard. I got dual offers when I came out of college. Software job, people said, Supada, you're settled. And I kept listening to this. While I was in 10th, people told, once you finish 10th, you're settled. Once you're in 12th, you're settled. Once you're in college, you're settled. And once you go to work, you're settled. There is never settlement in life. You need to keep learning, you need to keep evolving. I understood at a later point in time. When I started working, it was very exciting in the beginning, but things got very monotonous. I was doing the same thing again and again. And that's when I realized 9 to 6 is not going to be my thing. I was a very poor reader. I never read books except Kumudam, Manandavigadan, and all those Tamil magazines. I saw a book, A Better India, Better World by N.R. Narayanamurthy. The title got interesting. I started reading the book. I still remember this line. Business is not just about making money. Business is about creating wealth for yourself and for others and to create stable jobs. This created a spark. I never wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I decided I should start something on my own. A lot of ideas. I decided to start a training company. With very, very less funds, didn't have much support. Started the first business with one strong goal, like a lot of newbie entrepreneurs do. I wanted to buy a BMW car in the next 3 years and show to the world and show to my in-laws, family, friends that I have made it. That was one of the poor way of setting a goal. I realized later. So we actually grew fast, 135-member team, 4 crore in terms of valuation. And I'm a huge Count Money fan. Right? So he used to tell this in one of the movies. Na ipedavadu vaangi agunume. I should buy something. So we were generating good cash flow. But then it was very short-lived. Our business model couldn't scale. We got money from private lenders to sustain the business, and we had to kind of shut down that business. I met one of my mentors, Mr. Shivaraja Ramanathan. He once said, you're a young, dynamic entrepreneur, but you're sitting in a wrong business model. Till then, I never embraced failure because we've been taught not to fail, isn't it? Failures need not be celebrated, but at least can be encouraged. We were always conditioned to succeed. I was not able to accept the failure that I have failed. But then I realized I should not take emotional decisions. I should take business decisions. So I had to shut down the business, went into a debt of almost 20 lakh. There were two options, either to go back to a job or bounce back. I chose to bounce back. I didn't know what to do next. During a tea break, we used to have tea in a small cart. There was a tea seller. He used to sell tea at 10 rupees. And I got so curious. I asked him, how many cups of tea will you sell on any given day? He said 500 cups. It was crowded. He was making about 8,000-10,000 per day. So he was selling tea at 10 rupees. I saw another cafe selling tea at 200 rupees. This tea is not clean, hygiene, and affordable. Of course, it's affordable, but it's not in a clean and hygiene format. I spotted a bigger problem. Why don't we offer something in a clean and hygiene environment, which is also affordable? I started my tea outlet business. A lot of my friends laughed at it. People around me call me crazy because you are a software engineer, you are running a training company, your graph is not like this, your graph is like this. Before 10 years, we never had this fancy thing towards starting tea outlets. My family hesitated to introduce me to relatives, unknown relatives. But then I was very clear that I am solving a bigger problem here. I wanted to run behind this opportunity. I worked really hard, set up my first outlet. I should thank my wife for giving all the jewels, pledged, got the jewel loan, because jewel loan is the best form of the loan in this world. I started my outlet. First outlet, profitable, scaled to a couple of outlets. Again, we couldn't scale. Tried a lot of business models, we couldn't scale. When you go through failure after failure, you will have self-doubt, you will have hypothesis. I asked myself whether, do you have the skills to become an entrepreneur? Will you be able to do this? But then I read this quote. Success is moving from one failure to another failure without losing enthusiasm. I decided to bounce back, but I didn't have any money to invest, no co-founder, no team. I pitched my story to prospective people, 100 people. 10 people said yes. When 90 people said no, I learned the art of listening to no's. I started launching outlets, and we launched 16 outlets in the next 24 months' time. Not from zero, from negative. And I'm also a fan of Vadivel. இப்பதான் வந்து எந்திரிச்சு நிக்கிறேன். And then COVID came. Before that, it was a Surya Vamsam moment. One song, you can never become a millionaire, but it took a long time to make that kind of a money. But then everything shattered. Outlet shut down. Zero sales. அடிவாங்காத ஏரியாவே இல்லை kind of moment. But then I was very calm. My wife asked me, there's so much of problem. Your outlets are not open. Your sales is zero. You're so calm. That's when I realized I focused on solutions, not on problems. I became solution obsessed, not problem dependent. To kill time, I was very happy with Netflix and Prime for the first 1 week after lockdown. But just to kill time, I started taking webinars to help people to start tea outlet business online. If someone would have told me that you can start a tea outlet, you can train people on online to start a tea business offline, I would have laughed at it. People also laughed at it. People call me scam. People call me crazy. But I genuinely started sharing what I went through, my experience in this business. People came up with business plans. People started opening outlets. And that's when I realized, you're not here to build one brand. You're here to create multiple brands. And that was another spark moment. I kept doing it. And today, I have trained over 70,000 people and helped to create 525 plus food outlets across India. So these are my 3 key learnings from my journey. First, bouncing back. Failure isn't an end. Failure is a feedback. Failure will give you opportunity. Resilience is not just about bouncing back. Resilience is about bouncing back every single time, again and again, very strong. Second, start small, make it big. It doesn't matter where you come from. You might be an introvert, you might be very average, your parents may not be rich, you may not have a great background. But all that matters is where you wanted to go and how hard you can push yourself to reach those goals. Third, focus on the solution. A lot of times, we kept dwelling on the problems. If you are solution obsessed, if you focus on the solution, you will have the strength to adapt, pivot, and that will take you closer to the goal. If an introvert, average student, not so great background, if I can do it, it's not the setback that defines you. It's the ability to bounce back again and again after each failure. And you can also do that. Best wishes to all introverts, average student. And if you don't have any ambition right now like me, you can also make it. Thank you so much.